Another fantastic, sucker-free Friday night. What are you doing? Me? I'm absolutely fabulous, and I am at peace. How many of you all got peace today? Yeah, we got peace in the building. It's a new year. Well, according to the Gregorian calendar. But anyway, we're all here in America, and it's New Year's. Have you all really started to fulfill your New Year's resolution? Have you all started to fulfill the promises that you made to yourself? Well, for me, I've done some of them, okay? I've done some of them. And it helps me out. What about you? It's all a trial and a struggle. What do you want to have for you? Or are you going to release what is inside of you out by having progression and growth and development in oneself? That's what it is. Growth and development, not the GD, what's the forecast, and you see it right there? Not that GD, Not Larry Hoover, no, or BDs, or Maniac Latin Disciples, or Latin Jivers, or Spanish Cobras. No. We're not talking about that pitchfork there, or growth of development there. No. We're talking about the growth and development that comes from within you. Happy New Year! Let's stay sucker free this year, you all. Let's stay sucker FREE free. And if you are not on that boat, well, maybe you missed it this year. That boat is already on the waters. Okay? Not unless you go with the cosmological, the cosmological. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Sorry about the mix-up. The cosmological thing, meaning the moon. The moon calendar and all of that. That's a whole different topic. But we're here tonight, and we want to say thank you for all of you that is in the chat room for being here, because you could have been doing something else with someone else, but you decided to stop by to see what we had to say, and we want to tip our hat to you, okay, for being here. Now, earlier today, I had a live going on, right? Shouts out to you in the chat room. Cavio. I just call you Cavio, okay? But anyway, I had an earlier live, and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. I even had Minister Louis Farrakhan on, right? But what he was talking about for a whole hour, I really wasn't interested in. What about you? I really wasn't interested in. I've already heard that, learned that, been through that, went through a growth and development process of that. I'm sure that you all didn't want to hear that. So that live went absolutely horrible. I don't want to hear anything that's degrading humanity. Now, he does it how he does it. That's him. I'm not Louis Farrakhan, the minister. Some would even call the honorable. But if you was watching that video, he did leave you some important facts. And I keep telling people, it's not about religion. It's about the message. But it came across so horrible because all of a sudden my live got to going jittery. Like you at a, like you're at an amusement park and you're on some ride and you're being all shook up. That's how my live was. YouTube could have instantly shut it off, but they didn't. Maybe it was a sign for me to cut it off. Who we got out there? Can you shout me out? Who is that? I did, Cavio. Hey, I gave you a shout out. LTZT Ocavio. Now, I don't understand the first part of the name, but I did get Cavio right, okay? I did get the Cavio right, okay? Who we got here? Montana boy, 7722. Shouts out to people in Montana. And I got some news for Montana. I'm just saying. I got some news for Montana. Just stay tuned to this LIVE. And if you haven't done so already, and if this is your first time watching this channel, we ask that you subscribe to the channel. There is a couple of ways that you can help support this channel. You can subscribe to this channel. You can like the channel. You can give it a thumbs up, like, thumbs up, or you can share it. And you can also join the membership. We have a gold membership and we have a silver membership. Yeah, caught up on the words tonight. There's so much in my mind, so much in my brain, so much in my soul. It's a whole lot that's trying to come out all at one time, and it can't. So I'm sorry, but I thank you all for being here. Who we got out here? Montana boy. Rainy night. Fred Dixon in Georgia. Happy birthday. Happy holidays. January 2nd. Hope we all get rich. That is 100. Shouts out to my brother that's out there in Georgia. Okay. We got Georgia. We got Montana in the building. We want to thank you all for being here. Because you could have been doing something else with someone else. Okay? Or with your own self. You know how we do things. Whichever how we do things, okay? Because all of us do different things. Let's not get that message twisted, okay? Just like my message went twisted earlier, I was expecting something else from the minister, but it was over an hour and 20 minutes. In fact, it was an hour and 27 minutes until he really got to his point. But I didn't want to hear that. I don't want to hear anything that's bashing anybody, any section of a people. You know why? Because this is the age of information, not the age of religion. This is the age of information. Now, there was a part of that live that I had going for an hour and 27 minutes. But when he finally got to his point at 1:23, 1:24, I decided to cut it, okay? I decided to cut it. And maybe we'll save that for another day and do it right. You know why? Should I do it right? Because I should be the truth, just like you should be the truth. Today, the pimp. Shouts out to Simple the P from Chicago. Young man that died, Y'all know who Simple the P is. However, we're going to do some pen next month. And I'm sure that the spirit of Simple the P will be there. 100. Shouts out to Sinful the P. Yeah, as soon as I mentioned his name, my numbers went down. What is it with that mathematical equation there? Y-O-U-T-U-B-E. What is it with the mathematical equation there? But anyway, back to Minister Louis Farrakhan. There's some great things that he says. But the anti-Semitism, Louis Farrakhan, and that's over. But, however, throughout this year, I will bring you interesting points of what is food for thought for you. Not just black people, white people, humanity, and society. If you really listen to the brother, because he always says that he's the little brother. Listen to the little brother. And it's not about always Islam and all of that stuff. We not on that. We don't believe in religion here. We believe in the message because our energy vibrates with the message. Just as it does black people, white people, Puerto Rican people, Mexican people, Chinese people, Russian people. Now, if you don't believe me, just look at the life of Minister Louis Farrakhan and his travels in life. And many of you YouTubers, and I will call you small YouTubers, to the knowledge and wisdom that he has compared to your little life. Compared to your little life. Y'all know who y'all is. Always out there bashing Minister Louis Farrakhan. Minister Louis Farrakhan has saved the lives of many people, including mine. But we're going to get off him right now. I mean, it went down from whatever number it was down to 0. Yeah, but we're not here to talk about the minister. We just having an introduction to this LIVE, okay? Yeah. Like I said earlier, I didn't even want to hear the message when he was talking about Master Farad Muhammad and UFOs. Nah. I didn't want to hear that either. But what I do want to hear is how you're doing without the message. How are you doing without the message? Are you still a slave? Are you a free man? Are you a free woman? Thinking wise. You may think you are. But everything that you do, from labor, law, politics, religion, education, and the other, what is it? What does the brother say? Labor, war, all of that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Neely Fuller. All 9 areas of activity in life is done what? It's imposed upon you by someone else. Yeah, the numbers just went down again. The numbers just went down again. And I'm not even talking about Louis Farrakhan right now. I'm talking about Neely Fuller Jr. You know, the friend, real friend, cosmic energy that was with Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, that man. I'm dropping jewels to you. You can accept it or not accept it. That's not my job. My job is to just deliver the message, to plant the seed. Maybe it'll grow. Just like it grew inside of me, whereas you can think for yourself. Think Think for yourself. Read for yourself. Experience it for yourself. Yeah, do all that. Do all of that. And while all of you who disagrees going back to the minister, look at where your life is at. Not about religion, but the message. Look at where your life is at. Yeah, I know my numbers went back to 0, and I got 4 likes. However, we need to get those likes up. We need to get those likes up. Not an introduction that you were expecting, correct? Not an introduction that you were expecting. But it's all good. Today the pimp. Today the pimp. Meaning you be the truth. Whoever you are and who's watching, today be the truth of who you are. Because I am working just to do that. Because I haven't reached that level yet. But I'm working just like you. To be the truth in yourself. Not by a Bible or a Quran, but by how you were birthed in life. How you were birthed in life. You wasn't born with a Quran, a Bible, or a Torah attached to your umbilical cord. Someone gave you the book and the material in your hand. God didn't give you that. God didn't give you that. Man gave you that. Just think of how powerful you can become if you master yourself. And this is the year to do it, just as I am working to do it, just like you. Working to be like Jesus if you're a Christian. Working to be like Muhammad if you're a Muslim. Working to be like Moses if you're a Christian. We just saying. If you're talking about righteousness, if you're talking about growth and development, in order for you to have some growth and development, you must first have some righteousness within yourself. Wouldn't you agree? You would have to have some righteousness within yourself. You can grow on the evil bound, but there's still some righteousness in that. You just can't be evil, just like you can't all be good. That's why it is called a yin yang. Good and evil. Sun and moon. One sunlight, one nighttime. Not that it's evil, but you understand a negative and a positive, a good and an evil, a good day and a bad day. You know? But moving right along from that, here it is. You're a working citizen in America. We're going to switch this title up a little bit. We're going to move the last part of the title to the front. The minimum wage. Moving right along. But I'm going to take you back and show you the conjunction of what I'm about to say, how it has an effect on you, your thinking, your soul, your mind. Some people call it spirit. Some people don't have spirits or a soul. That's a whole nother different story, okay? Whole nother different lie. But here it is, minimum wage has gone up. Some states are happy, like 19 states to be exact, working for someone else. Now, I don't mind working for someone else, but I have to be paid a decent wage, whereas I don't have to struggle. How many of you out there right now is already struggling, even though you don't have no money to save, but you work every day. How many of you all out there, let's just keep it a buck. How many of you all are working a job that you don't like? But they raised the minimum wages in these certain states that I'm about to tell you. And no, I'm not looking at a teleprompter. And no, I'm not reading from a piece of paper. No, it's from my brain. The power of your brain. And right now, those 19 states that has raised the minimum wage. And they made it sort of easy for you. It went from an alphabetical order, from like Arizona. Minimum wage has went up. California, minimum wage has went up. We're going to stop right there at those two right now, okay? Now, I frequently visit the state of Arizona. The state of Arizona is not a cheap place to live. Not whatsoever. I have seen many of people from the Midwest and from the South that has moved southwest to Arizona, regardless of what part. And they should have stayed where they were at because they were not prepared for the finances that it took to live in Arizona, despite the palm trees and the swimming pools. It's like living in California, where they just got another minimum wage raise. But how much does it cost to live in California? I see you all out there in the chat room. I want to thank everybody that's out there because you could have been doing something else with someone else, but you decided to stop by to see what we had to say, and you could have been doing something by yourself, whatever that may be, okay? But we want to thank you, and if you haven't done so already, we ask that you smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell and the word all to help ensure that you get notifications when we upload them on YOUTUBE or have a LIVE like we're doing now. And if you are able to, we ask that you support the channel with a super chat, by a subscription, and also joining the membership, which comes in a gold membership and a silver membership. But always like, share, subscribe. Doesn't cost you one red dime. Just a click away, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, back to California. Minimum wage has took place there too. And that minimum wage is $17 an hour. But someone beats California. We'll get to them in a minute later on. California, $17 an hour. Have you all been to California lately? Have you all investigated or seen the cost of living in California? Hell, you even have millionaires that are leaving California. A prime example of this would be Mickey Rourke. Do you all remember Mickey Rourke? Now, if you don't know Mickey Rourke, I just feel for you. But right now, he is in so much debt. And he's a movie star. Hollywood movie star, but he's paying $7,000 a month for an apartment, not a home, for an apartment. I'm going to tell you a true story here. When I was in California, what was it, last year? And I was on Hollywood Boulevard, and I ran into this young lady who was coming outside her apartment right off Hollywood and Great. Okay, Hollywood and Great. And I had asked her, how much are you paying to stay there? Do you have a 1 room, 2 room, 3 room? She says that she pays $4,000 for a studio. I guess you would pay the same amount if you're in New York, on Lexington and 25th. You'd probably say, pay the same amount. If you're in Miami somewhere, you're paying the same amount. And that's in the hood. Excuse me. No, that would be like maybe West Palm Beach Shores somewhere. Okay. Yeah. But the rent is outrageous. It is outrageous despite the minimum wage that they're giving you. California did what? Has a $17 an hour minimum wage, but someone beats that, which is Washington State, which we'll get to. So we got Arizona, who went up on minimum wage. We got California. We got Colorado. Good news for the Garden of the Gods state, okay? Yeah, minimum wage has went up there too. Connecticut. Yeah. If you're in Bridgeport, it may help you out, okay? If you're in Greenwich, well, it really don't apply because when you're in Greenwich, there is no minimum wage. You can even, own a half of a house on minimum wage in Greenwich. But Connecticut, the state itself, has went up on minimum wage, okay? Yeah. Getting down to it, ain't we? Yeah, we said Colorado and Connecticut. Uh-huh. And we're going to keep going here to what? Hawaii. Hawaii now. The 5th state. I don't know what's going on over there. I know Oprah Winfrey jumped into an investment over there when things caught fire. Not to mention her and The Rock was soliciting. They need funds over there back in the day, about a year or two ago, about 2 years ago. Yeah. How can millionaires, Oprah a billionaire, solicit funds or try to from broke people? Because we're all broke here in America. Anybody out there, I'm going to ask this question. Anybody out there got over $1,000 in their bank account right now that's in the chat room? Do you have over $1,000 in your bank account? Anybody out there? We got Bruce Arcata. He's from Brazil. Brazil is hell. Pray Brazil. Bruce Arcata said hi. Shouts out to Bruce Arcata out there in Brazil. We got Brazil. We got Georgia. We got Montana. We all in the building tonight. Yep. Hey, what's going on, Nick Knock? What's going on, Nick Knock? We are in the BUILDING, representing God, okay? Just think about it. Back to the states, okay? So we got Arizona, we got California, we got Colorado, we got Connecticut, Hawaii. Now we're going to work on Montana. Yeah, where the Garden of the Gods is at. If you haven't been to Montana, where the Garden of the Gods is at, get there. They just got a minimum wage. And Montana is not cheap. Not at all. Not at all. What's that city in Montana? Pollock, Montana? Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all seen me pictures there in Montana. It is not cheap. Michigan, well, they had, where they just had somebody to rob one of their dispensaries in Grand Rapids with a shotgun. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting hot out there in Grand Rapids, right? Uh-huh. But Michigan, uh-huh. And we have Missouri, Maine, uh-huh. All of them have did what? Raised the minimum wage. Any other M that I missed? No. Maine, Missouri, Michigan, Montana. Yeah, I think they done for the M's. But you got New York. New York also went up on minimum wage. New Jersey has also went up on minimum wage. Now, if you haven't lived in New York, it is very expensive in New York. It's like the East Coast that pays the same price that West Coast people do. Okay? Yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, especially when you get down there on 25th, 26th in Lexington. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Even go down there to Midtown. We're not talking about Times Square. Absolutely crazy out there. Who we got in the building? Brazacuda. That's what's up. Who else got a minimum wage out there? Ohio got a minimum wage out there. Nothing but corn. Ohio. And y'all know Ohio is not only known to be a city of gangsters, a state, excuse me, Cleveland, Ohio, especially, city of gangsters, okay? But it's also known for those laws for, sleeping with the animals, okay? Yeah, Ohio, you all are getting a minimum wage hike as well. Yeah, minimum wage hike as well. Then you have, PQR, Rhode Island. Rhode Island. Now, I've drove through Rhode Island, I've drove through Rhode Island, but I never really stopped in Rhode Island. When I was on that East Coast driving from Maine all the way down to Florida, never really stopped in, Rhode Island. But I hear that they have a lot of drug problems out there. But I did go there, and I got the sign on the expressway, I was in the state. But they also got a hike in minimum wage. STUR, Rhode Island, V, Vermont, Virginia, and W, Washington. The state of Washington has the highest minimum wage. Now, if you've ever been to Seattle, lived in Seattle, Kirkland, and in surrounding areas, Snohomish, Monroe County, Bellevue, I love Bellevue. I love Bellevue, or Botham, you know what I'm saying? Those prices are like compared to California, whether it be Irvine, Los Angeles, Hollywood, your minimum wage still can't pay your rent. That's what I'm telling you. I just mentioned all of these states to you that has all of these minimum wage increases, but your minimum wage cannot keep you above waters. Can't pay your bills. And everything is going up. So what do? Do you find a side hustle, or do you become an entrepreneur? Now, many people are not in that situation. They do very well job-wise. And just from experience, if you're not making $100,000 or more, y'all already know what I'm saying. I mean, you have people right now that's making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, and they still broke. Once again, how many people out there has $1,000 in a bank account right now, but they work every day. Anybody? Come on. I can't be the only broke person out here. I can't be the only broke person out here. We're just saying. So while y'all getting all of those raises and everything, it really doesn't mean nothing with the taxes that's being taken out your check. FICA, insurance, whatever, Social Security. It don't mean nothing. What do you think, for those that's out there in the chat room, what do you think would be a decent minimum wage for American citizens on the job? Anybody out there? Would it be like $25 an hour? Would it be $30 an hour? I myself, as a minimum wage, I charge $30 an hour, whether if I tutor your child, whether if I'm doing some video production, and that's on the low end. That's on the low end. $30 an hour. Do you think that is an outrageous minimum wage, or do you think that that is a decent minimum wage that people can live by and thrive by? But they don't want you to thrive. They don't want you to thrive. This system does not want you to thrive. Like I said, if you ain't making 100 grand or over, chances are, you paycheck to paycheck. Like many of us are, that is in this cesspool of America, regardless to who's running it. The rich gets richer and the poor gets poor. It's getting so bad out here that you got people here in Chicago that's robbing moving freight trains. Moving freight trains. Like the incident that took place over here on 60th and Stewart. Yeah. Those cars were passing through on those tracks, and you had 3 individuals whose name is not even worth mentioning. If it don't belong to you, don't take it. I learned that the hard way. I went to jail. I went to prison at one point in my life for taking something that didn't belong to me. Yeah. Was it worth it? No. Was it a lot of money? Yeah. Would I do it again? No. I'm just keeping it above. I know that some things should be held secret and confidential. At this stage in life, it don't even matter, because if you can't be truthful with yourself, and if you have a platform whereas you can speak the truth about yourself, seeing that you can't sometimes speak the truth about other people, at least you can speak it about yourself. I'm not in jeopardy of anything except being untrue to who I am. And if you're being other than the truth to yourself, shame on you. Today the pimp. 100. Just keeping it above. And if this is your first time watching this channel, we ask that you share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your conversation. People still killing people. People still killing people today. You just had a drive-by over here on the west side of Chicago in broad daylight at 11 a.m. on the 1100 block of Mozart, South Mozart. And that's really like at Fillmore Street, between Fillmore and Roosevelt. Yeah, drive by, shot, dead. You had a hit and run. New Year's Eve. What's her name? Henrietta, 72-year-old lady, hit and run. Ain't nobody gonna turn themselves in. And ain't nobody, really trying to seek the person who did it. But according to the report, they said that they knew who the suspects were. Maybe they caught their license plate on camera. Finally. Okay. Finally. You had a 7-year-old boy shot in the arm, Humboldt Park. No one has been arrested, but he was shot in his home. The police came. Whoever was responsible for the shooting, which they're still investigating, no one's arrested, but there were adults in the house. How can a child be shot, but no one arrested? See, I was just having a live the other day about the new Safe Gun Act, Storage Act, where you have to store it someplace secure, just not in your closet or under your mattress. It can be in a lockbox or a safe, whereas a child can't get it. It is so much violence out here, and people are losing their mind out here. Not only are they shooting 7 years old, young babies, they're killing their grandmamas. God damn. Yeah, that ain't using God's name in vain, because God's name is not God, okay? God's name is not God. Anyway, here it is. You have Ronald Allred, 37 years old, in Missouri, stabs his grandmama to death. 71, they did not leave her age in the report from what I found. But he stabbed his grandmama to death, hitting her in the neck, hitting her in the head, arm, leg, chest. 37 years old. This is where we're at today. Now, you talk about you all, I talked about you all not wanting to hear what the minister had to say, but just possibly, had that man heard the minister, maybe he wouldn't have killed his grandmama. And then on top of that, he stabbed her 2 French bulldogs right out there in St. Louis, Missouri. Now, I know that a lot of mental asylums have closed. They have closed across America. We have crazy people roaming the street every day. But let's make America great again. How can we make America great again when, number one, you got crazy people ruling the world, America? You have crazy people ruling America, and you have crazy people that's walking around from insane asylums that have been closed. Y'all help me make sense out of that. What's wrong with that? It seems to me that death and destruction has become the order of the day. Violence has become the order of the day. Shootings has become the order of the day. Fatal stabbings have become the order of the day. Carjackings have become the order of the day. Crime itself has become the order of the day. But we say that we live in the greatest country in the world. I'm just saying. I know y'all don't want to hear that. I know y'all don't want to hear that. This social media thing thrives off of death carnage and violence. That's what it do. Anyway, that's a whole nother video. Moving right along to how crazy it is in this world. Would you stab your grandmama? Here it is, your grandmother, not your mama. We're going to get to a mother in a minute. But your grandmother who gave birth to your mama. There isn't any reason to kill her. Did she violate you some type of way? No. Did she mistreat you in any type of way? No. In fact about it, I find that when the mother or the father don't want to deal with the child, the grandmother takes custody of the child so that the child doesn't go into the system. I mean, that seems to be the record of things or the pattern of things, but yet you want to kill your grandmama. Look how sick and mentally ill the society is. Where you go and kill your grandmama. The place where you had refuge at. The place where you can go and ain't nobody gonna know where I'm at. A place where you can go and have some type of confident conversations. Whereas didn't nobody know except you and your grandma or your grandpa. Anybody out there like that besides me? I got a grandma right now that I'm always seeing, always worried about what's going on with her health. Because her days just may be rolling around. And sometimes when you get to that age, sometimes you get pushed to death. I'm just saying, anybody out there have those no good parents to their grandmama? Anybody out there have no good parents to their grandfather? I'm not saying mine. No. I'm not saying that. My mother does a great job. My aunt does a great job with handling my grandmother. They do the best that they can, and I do the best that I can. That's all that you can do, the best that you can. But if you don't do nothing, go stand over there by Walgreens like you've been doing. Don't kill your grandmama. That's some type of suicidal, deranged, demon, demonic type of shit. That is some demonic type of shit when you go kill your grandmama. I know y'all didn't like the language. Sorry about that. But that's just keeping it a buck. Numbers went down. I need those thumbs up. I need more people to tap in. Tap into what we're saying here. What we're talking about is some real demonstrations. Ain't no religion. It's all about life. What you're going through, what I'm going through, and anybody that's not in the Trump administration, okay? Because they ain't hurting for nothing. But you hurting, just like all of the other 90% of the Americans here that's in this country hurting, spellbound, broke, depressed, morally bankrupt, spiritually bankrupt. And some of us are physically bankrupt. Especially us men that don't work out. I've been guilty of not working out too. But it's a new year. Today the pimp. Get your shit together. That's all we saying. But we as Americans can't seem to get our sugar honey iced tea together because we got more murder on the board. More people want to kill not only their grandmama, but they want to kill their mama. Just like you had that man in Texas Yeah. How old was he? 34 years old. Garen Crossan. Garen Crossan, 34 years old. What did he do? Stabbed his mama to death. Stabbed her in the heart twice. Stabbed her in her arm. Stabbed her in her leg. The police found her dead on the floor, bleeding everywhere. Why is it that we are killing our parents? Can anybody answer me that question? Anybody out there? Do you want to kill your parents? Have life brought you to the brink of destruction mentally where you want to kill your parents? Are these people just crazy that they let out of the nut house? Are these people depressed? Are they serial killers? They can't be suicidal because they're killing someone else versus themselves. Come on now. I know that I got more than one person out there in the chat room. Come on now. Y'all got to stop playing with me. We've been doing this live 51 minutes, and you all mean to tell me that I only got one person in the chat room? Okay. It's all good with me. We don't hate on this channel. Let's get that straight. I don't care if you black, white, Jew, German, Indian, Chinese, Japanese, Guatemalan, Mexican, Portugal, whoever and whatever you are in the crayon box. Now, history-wise, there may be some things that I revealed that you don't like, but it will not be untruth. You can't fight history. You can fight literacy. You can't fight history. Anyway, moving right along, now my numbers just went down to 0 again, like I'm a zero hero, okay? I'm your zero hero for the night, okay? Who we got out there? Nick Knock, 2750 an hour gives you 57,200 a year, a healthy minimum, but not a way to survive. And someone else, Johns, 27 Gonzalez, 31, que onda mi loco. Oh, somebody loco, it ain't me. Would that be you loco out there? Johns, 27 Gonzalez, 31. I'm not loco. Here it is. You have somebody out there, Nick Knock, talking about $27 an hour and 50 cents. And that's just surviving. That's just surviving. And wherever they are at, what city and state that they are in, $27.50 an hour should be a reasonable, decent amount of living wage. But we can't even get that. We can't even get that. The rich get richer and the poor gets poorer. Yet you have Donald Trump on national TV talking about how much he's done for America with the good. He's done no good. He's all done bad. Even his own party is working against him now. Do you think Donald Trump is just doing what he is told to do? Do you think Donald Trump is in control? But one thing's for sure, Donald Trump got his money. He drained the swamp. He drained the swamp, and he told you what he was going to do. Okay? And getting on to the madness, furthering the madness of death, destruction, violence, and crime within the relationship of your own nucleus, meaning your family. Now, this Texas man that I was just talking about, he killed his mama over food. He killed his mother over food. It wasn't cooked right? Was it overcooked? Or was it not enough that was cooked? But he killed his mama. What's that lady name? Alta Green. Alta Green. Uh-huh. 71 years old. He killed that lady. And you know what he said to the cops? He said that I needed to kill my mama because it needed to be done. And these are the type of people that you want to deal with or have to deal with, or the psychos that you meet online when you're on a dating site, okay? These are the psychos that you run into on a dating site. So for all of you who got a decent guy at home, because there's some bad girls out here too, but whatever site you're on, and you're thinking that the grass is greener on the other side, look at the stories and the crazy people that we have to deal with. Are you sure that you want to date these people? You don't know what box of chocolates you're going to get. Ain't that right, Forrest Gump? You don't know what you're going to get in those box of chocolates. So if you got a good man at home or a decent man at home, you know, wife, whatever, hold on to them. Don't y'all watch those TV shows like Murray and Steve Wilkos? Ain't nothing out here. Ain't nothing out here. And if you are on a campaign to better yourself, stay away from distractions, because they'll come in the exact way that you like them. Y'all get that? But back to the death and the destruction and the order of the day here in America. Would you kill your mama? Would you kill your mama who gives you birth, who gives you life? And had it not been for your mama, you really wouldn't be here, because she was your first sustainer. She was your first teacher. Your mama. Yeah, I know y'all don't want to hear that. But what do you say to a society that's killing their parents? That's killing those who have taken care of them? Anybody out there? Anybody out there that has lost a mother naturally through death? Anybody? I know some people who personally have. And trust me, when you lose your mother, you lose a great part of yourself. But you want to kill it. You want to kill your first teacher. You want to put out the lights of the person who gave you food, gave you birth, gave you growth and development, spent money and hours of trying to rear you, while they went broke trying to make things happen for you. But you want to kill them. This is the society and people that we have to deal with today. Let's make America great again. I'm just saying. You got people killing their wives, just as in the case of Alan Michael Mellon, 33 years old, in Missouri. Shot and killed his wife, the woman of his baby, 3 months old. Why did he shoot and kill her, Mo? Because she stole some coins from his coin collection to go buy some alcohol. You see, what's her name? Hannah Blizzard. Blizzard, not BLIZZ. Blizzard. Blizzard. Hannah, who was an alcoholic, according to the reports, and from Alan Mellons, stole money from his coin collection. He took the baby out from the apartment where they were having an argument at, or where it ensued at. He took the baby outside down to the apartment complex to walk to his car. When he got to his car, Hannah, his wife, his ex, his dead ex, followed him to the car. And when she followed him to the car and got there, he pulled out his handguns and cut off her electricity by shooting her in the head a couple of times. Not one time, a couple of times in the presence of their 3-month-old baby. These are the insane, crazy people. People who didn't continuously follow God. Now, if they got a mental problem, I get it. I get it. They've closed all the insane asylums. But if you who are sane and you are on the brink of destruction, you are on the brink of the destruction because society has brought you or has succumbed you to that level. And why is that? Because you left something. You left something. You left somebody. Just like Floyd Mayweather left somebody. I know that I got more than 2 people here in the building. I know that. I don't know why they're showing 2, but it's all good. Who out there? Floyd Mayweather, the richest boxing athlete that ever lived. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Let me get that right. Just not Floyd Mayweather, because his daddy was a boxer and his daddy was off the chain too until he went to prison for some drugs. You a boxer and got all that money, but you still want to deal in drugs. Had the talent, had the skills, but he left something. He left God. Whatever you want to call God to be. Just like his son, Floyd Mayweather Jr., he earned at least $1.1 billion as a boxer. He used to show all of the money that he had on YouTube, stacks and stacks of money, long tables of money. But somebody came and took his money. You know why? Because he forgot about God. You know why? He invested in all of these great things that other people got going on. Yeah, my phone is down right now. I hope to get it in. With the Go partners, they ripped him off. All of these luxury apartments. They say he got things in Vegas, mansions in California, this and that. However it is, all of that money that he invested it with someone else. He didn't even invest back to where he came from. He didn't even buy an apartment complex from where he was born at, raised at, people who supported him, but he went over there to someone else and they took all his money. Y'all think Louis Farrakhan just be talking about Islam. It's not Islam. I don't even believe in Islam. And I'm a former FOI. Because I know that that is the slave master religion. He does what he do to get by. or did what he did to get back, to bring the message that he brought you, but he had to bring it to you that way, in that form. It was never about religion. It was for the upliftment of you. And I know I ain't got all of them likes in the building. I ain't got all of those people in the building right now in the chat because I'm speaking something real. I took the video down from earlier when he got talking about Jews and all of that. Don't nobody want to hear that. Don't nobody want to hear about Elijah Muhammad. We can read that. We're out of time for that. If you ain't got it by now, you ain't got it. We didn't want to hear about Master Farad Muhammad. I took the video down because I myself didn't want to hear that. But when he got to the part about disrespecting your mama, I had to cut that off. But that was an hour and 27 minutes into the video, maybe for another day. But if you kill your mama and your grandmama, you should not live at all. You don't even deserve jail or prison. Once convicted, immediate death. Especially when you know that you killed your mom. Now, all of these people, Ronald Allred, Garen Crossan, and what's his name? Alan Michael Mellon. They all confessed to the crime. They all confessed to the crime. Should there be leniency for the crime of killing your mama, your grandmama, and your wife over nothing? See, that's when it's case closed, when they admit to the guilt versus being tried first. But if you admit to killing your mama, your grandmama, and your wife, who you say is for life, that's the MO. And like I said, history-wise, if you haven't checked out my other channel, MOPOWERZ here on YOUTUBE, go check that out and listen to those audiobook series, Black Man of the Nile, Stolen Legacy, From Babylon to Timbuktu, which I put my foot in, The Destruction of Black Civilization, The Message to the Black Man in America, The Fall of America, The Demonology of King James, The Miseducation of the Negro, The 16 Crucified Saviors, and the other 900 videos that we got on that channel. Get yourself over there. And if you are into traveling, Minnesota, Arizona, Michigan, Montana, Missouri, Oklahoma, California, Maine, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, New York, New Jersey, Florida, Kansas, Milwaukee, Chicago, Colorado. Get yourself over there. MOPOWERZ. Take that ride with us. Even in Kentucky at Churchill Down, where we take you to the to the museum, the History Museum of Horse Racing in Kentucky. Churchill Down. Yeah. Black Wall Street, Oklahoma. Yeah. Take you down to Georgia. You know where they had the Georgia Guidestones before they got blown up. The Black Holocaust Museum in Milwaukee. Take that ride with us. And if you are into what? Old school Chicago hip hop, gangster rap, spoken word, independent movies. THEMOSHOW classics, all one word, no space here on YOUTUBE. And you'll find the likes of Twister, Shauna, Crucial Conflict, Triple Darkness, Psychodrama, Mano, The Nomads, Mecca, Big Taz, Lunatic the Messiah, and Dub, Illa Flows, J.R. Valentino, N.A., and a whole bunch of other people from the Chi, including Killer Bloodline. Get yourself over there. THEMOSHOW classics, All one word, no space here on YOUTUBE. And if you into wah 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 Kung Fu, Bruce Lee, Snake Style, Tiger, Crane, Mantis, get yourself over there. Kung Fu Genius, Space, Kick Ass. That's my fourth channel that I'm working on. It's a new year. We got a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on, and we need you to do what? Subscribe, like, and share. That's all. But if you're feeling generous, donate a super chat or join having a membership to this channel. Gold membership and silver membership. But if you're into wah 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 wah, I kick your ass, get over there to Kung Fu Genius, Space, Kick Ass, and enjoy yourself. We're still working on that channel. That's my time for right now. And don't forget the GUN, God, Universe, Nature. Never give up on your dreams. Thanks for being you all. Peace out. That's my time.